All right, so these are your 2.6 notes on ratios and proportions. Find your page number, put that in your table of contents. So the first word is ratio. A ratio is just a comparison of numbers using division. For example, your teacher might ask you to find, like, what is the ratio of students in desks to total number of desks? And of course, you would just have to do a count. We want to know how many students are in desks and then how many total desks do we have. So let's just assume that we have 12 students in desks. And then there are 24 desks total. One way to write the ratio would be using the quotations of, like, there are 12 students to 24 desks, 12 to 24. You could write it with the colon, 12 to 24. We could also write it as the fraction, 12 to 24, which is definitely can be reduced to 1/2, which could be the fraction 1/2 or the decimal 0.5. Lots of different ways to write ratios. But I think today what we're going to do is mainly look at, like, the fraction values and then the decimal values. So those are ratios. A proportion oops. Are two ratios set equal to each other. Ratios are proportional when their values are equal. So for example, if I give us the ratio 1/2, 1 to 2, and set it equal to 7/14, another ratio. These are two ratios set equal to each other. We want to know if they are proportional or not. And there are a bunch of ways to check proportionality. Some are faster, easier than others. But I like one of them in particular, so I'm going to get a different color to highlight this. Ways to check proportionality. One, we could reduce the fractions to see if you get the same fraction. So I might write this in a different color, blue. Okay, so like 1/2's already as far as it can be reduced. But 7/14 can be reduced to, if I were to divide the 7 by 7, I get 1. And 14 divided by 7, I get 2. So I actually get the value of 1/2. So the fractional values are the same. So yes, this is proportional. These two ratios are proportional. Pick a different color here. Another way to check this would be to find the decimal value. and then see if you get the same thing. Well, the decimal value for 1/2 is 0.5, and then 7 divided by 14 is 0.5 in your calculator. Both of them give you a decimal value of 0.5. Another way to check proportionality would be, could you multiply the fraction, the first fraction or the second fraction by the same number and get the second one? So multiply. So like if I were to take the 1 times the 7, I get 7, and then the 2 times the 7, I get 14. So I multiplied by 7 over 7, which gives me 7/14. Um, this one is testing out to be proportional. We could also divide. Could I divide the 7 by 7 to get 1? Yes. Divide the 14 by 7 to get 2? Yes. So we could go both ways. Multiply or divide a fraction by a number to get the other. It has to be the same number. Last one is probably one of my favorites. It's called the means extreme property, or I like to call it cross multiply. Crisscross applesauce works every single time. So if you actually take the fraction 1/2, set it equal to 7/14, if you were to cross multiply, do their values give you the same thing? So like if I take the numerator in the first one, multiply it by the denominator in the second one, does that give you the same as if I were to take the denominator in the first one and multiply it by the numerator in the second one? Does 1 times 14 equal 14? Yep. And then 2 times 7 equals 14. Are their values the same? Yes. This is the means extremes property, and I use this one a lot. And in fact, we're going to use this to solve some proportions. So for example, if I give us 0.25 over 0.6, does this equal 1.25 over 2? Are they proportional? Well, we could reduce the fractions, we could find the decimals, we could multiply by some number to get the other one. If it works, then it is proportional. If it doesn't, then we know it's not proportional. But let's use the means extremes property to try this out. So I'm going to take this 0.25 times the 2. And we want to know, does this equal 0.6 times the 1.25? When I multiply 0.25 times 2, you end up getting 0.5. And 0.6 times 1.25 gives you 0.75. Are the values the same? No. So this is not proportional. Okay, let's try. 1/6. Does this equal 5/30? If we use the means extremes property, 1 times 30 gives me 30, and 6 times 5 gives me 30. So the 1 times 6, and then the 6 times the 5. Yes, or 1 times the 30. Excuse me, getting ahead of myself. 30. 1 times 30 gives me 30, and 6 times 5 gives me 30. So yes, these two ratios are proportion. No. Okay, so if we're going to solve proportions now. This is big. So if I give us some number x over 10 has to be 3/5. Right now I'm telling you they are proportional. Both values are the same. What we're trying to do is figure out what value of x will make this work. Now, normally we could take and multiply both sides by 10. to solve for x. So I get x equals 30 over 5, so x equals 6. But we can actually use the means extremes property as well. If I did x over 10 equals 3/5. Okay, so if I were to take the sum number times 5, 5x equals 10 times 3, or 30. And if I solve for x now, if I divide both sides by 5, I get x equals 6. It's the same thing. And then when you double check this, 6 over 10, does this equal 3/5? 6 over 10 is 0.6, and 3/5 is 0.6. Both sides are the same value. If I try 4 over u equals 28 over 35. Both of these are proportional, but again, let's use the means extremes property. If I were to take the 4 times the 35, we want to know when does this equal u times 28, or 28 times u. So 4 times 35 gives me 140, and then 28u is 28u. Okay, to solve for u, we're going to divide both sides by 28. So I get u is equal to 5. And if I double check this, 4 over 5, does this equal 28 over 35? And then we can check our proportionality here, but yes, it does. If I were to divide the 28 by the 7, I do get 4, and then the 35 divided by 7, I do get the 5. So they are proportional. One more before we move on. If I were to get x minus 3 all over 5 equals 6 over 10. So again, this will work with your means extremes property, but we're taking everything in the numerator multiplied by the denominator. So you have 10 times x minus 3. When does this equal? 5 times the 6. Okay, and then of course now this is why we did our whole solving equations with parentheses and distributive property, because you do have to distribute 10x, and then a minus 10 times 3 is 30. When does this equal? 30. Okay, solving for x now looks like I have to add 30 to both sides. So I get 10x equals 60. Divide both sides by 10. So I get x equals 6. Okay, but in this one you did have to take the entire numerator and multiply it by the denominator in the second one. And if you have numbers in the bottom like this, if you have to multiple in the bottom, you have to take the entire denominator and multiply it by the entire numerator in the second one. Wow, spit it out. Okay. And I think that's it for right now.